Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the Miss Phins Show. I am your host, Miss Phins. Thank you, guys, for coming through. Much appreciated, much appreciated. Do me a favor, you already know what I'm gonna ask. You know what I'm gonna say. Hit that like button for us, guys. Hit the like button. Let everybody else know we are live. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming through. Much appreciated. I hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. It is Monday. We're gonna talk about the Pro Bowls because obviously it happened this weekend. Woo! But definitely want to go ahead and talk about the topic here, guys. We finally hired our defensive coordinator in Anthony Weaver from the Baltimore Ravens. So we're gonna deep dive a little bit into that as well because obviously, we were all wondering how long that would take. I mean, it's been a Rolodex in a number of people that we've interviewed. I think they kind of fairly quickly ended up getting their guy, and I'm gonna draw some comparisons too, as to a few things that I noticed. But other than that, we'll definitely continue to do it. But before we go ahead and get started, ladies and gentlemen, as always, remember to let's go ahead and keep it clean. Let's keep it PBS kids. Debate your little hearts away, but debate the opinion. Be kind to the person. Always. You can find Miss Fins throughout the season, Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. Eastern, every Monday through Friday. So go ahead and take a look at that as well. Thank you very much. Today, Motivation Monday. I'm super motivated with this new DC, so I'm very excited. I don't know about you. You can also go ahead and support the channel, guys, by becoming a member to the channel. Yes, if you want to go ahead and support, you like what you're seeing here, we really would appreciate if you guys were to go ahead and become members to the channel. It is an absolute blessing to have all of you guys here. Thank you guys for coming through. Much appreciated. You guys are literally simply the best. So shout out to all of our members, man. You guys keep us moving. So thank you so much for everyone that has become a member and all those that continue to become members, so on and continuously. Much appreciated with that. Also, too, guys, you can support the channel very easy, 100% free. All you gotta do is hit that like button if it looks like this, or if it looks like this, hit it. Uh, Also, too, sharing the channel, letting everybody know really does help out the channel. You might not think you're making a difference, but believe me, with the audience, it really does help having all those likes every time you guys comment. I reply back. So go ahead and do so that we can continue the conversation post show. I appreciate everybody. And like always, ladies and gentlemen, you already know what I say. We win together, we lose together. Dolphins for life. Let's go, baby. Yes, so welcome everybody. I see everybody in here. Good morning, much appreciated. What's up, Hooked Up Joe? Good morning. I this weekend was a little bit crazy for me, so I didn't get a chance to send you the stuff, Joe, but I will be sending it over to you. What's up, Bob Young? Mark K, welcome. Michael K, welcome. What's up, Michelle? Welcome. Much appreciated. Thank you. Yeah, we're gonna talk about the Pro Bowl. Don't worry, but we gotta get hot off the presses, ladies and gentlemen. Definitely, finally, on February 3rd this weekend, the Miami Dolphins have selected their new DC. We have officially hired Anthony Weaver as our defensive coordinator. Yup. He is the assistant. Well, he was the assistant head coach and defensive line coach for the Baltimore Ravens just recently. And guess what? Now we got him, ladies and gentlemen. Yup. Now we do. So we're gonna talk about background and a little bit more about him and what we could expect from him. Hey, listen, it's a new journey. It's a new day. I almost feel like that's not like a commercial. Uh, but seriously, it is definitely a new day. It's a new DC. Obviously, we started last season with a new DC with Vic Fangio. Now we get to start this new season with a new DC. So no 5 alarm fire over here, ladies and gentlemen. We are so excited. Yeah, we are. What's up, Chris? Welcome. Timothy, Josh Shines, and I said, well, good morning, guys. Welcome. Yes, hit that like button, guys. Hit the like button. Thank you so much. So I've been reading some articles and kind of going through here. But you know what? One thing I will say, it's a few things. Obviously, we talked about it last week, and I'm going to go ahead and emphasize it again. It's been a little bit crazy with this whole Fangio situation that happened. Um, whatever. And one of the main things that I gathered, besides the fact that obviously from what we saw, that maybe there might be some miscommunication between not all but several players in the defensive part of the team that were essentially interested in being a little bit more involved, if you will, and having their input into the defense. And with that being said, they did not really jive well with, at the moment, at that point, Vic Fangio. So that's one of the things that obviously came out. We also heard, just to recap real quick, if you can get the full detail, go back to last week's show. I definitely broke it down there for you guys. But also, too, some of the players were also semi being called out of not wanting to perhaps work hard and kind of stay focused more than anything else. Some guys just wanted to live the life, a luxury over here in South Florida. Which, let me tell you something. Listen, there's a reason why people want to come to South Florida. There's a reason why everybody retires in the state of Florida, man. We have everything you could possibly ever want in the entire state, up and down. You know, and depending on where you are in the state, you're gonna have different things that you're able to go ahead and enjoy. I mean, the only thing we don't have is snow, and even that we can import. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, we do have hockey. Yeah, in case some people don't think we do, we actually do. We have a pretty good hockey team. Shout out to the Florida Panthers. Let's go. But yes, actually, we even had the Tampa Bay Lightning that just won, if I'm not mistaken, back-to-back Stanley Cups, or at least I know for sure has won two in the last like 5 years, 6 years. So yeah, we got hockey here too, ladies and gentlemen. We may be the southernmost state, but we still got it. Thank you. What's up, Red Riding Bills? How you doing, buddy? Uh Hey, shut up. I'm not even. See, I was about to highlight your comment until you said that ridiculousness. It ain't gonna happen. But happy birthday to you, sir. Happy birthday. Okay? I won't sing to you because you're a Bills fan, but as a friend, happy birthday. See, we could be cordial. Um, yeah. Let's see here. Now, as far as being that as a man, I told you guys, listen, what Miami, and you could hear it in the conference from McDaniel, what Miami is looking for is somebody that is very player centric, kind of young, somebody that's is able to do player development. That was something very keen, very important. That if you hear Mike McDaniel, you hear that, okay, that was one of the most important things that they were looking for. Which, I mean, hello, that's that player development is huge. You know what I mean? Go ahead and hit that like button, guys. We got over 20 of y'all in here, real quick. We need 10 more likes, guys. Let's get those 10 likes. Actually, I'm gonna ask you guys while I'm talking, just to kind of gauge what you guys think. Was Anthony Weaver Coach Weaver. Coach Weaver. Anybody remembers a certain movie about a certain very beautiful man who is now the head coach of the Cleveland Browns, whom has to, make his own team and stuff? Can anybody tell me who the guy was, who the coach was, and the name of the movie? Uh, let's see. Obviously, we won't really know if this was a good hire overall until the end of the meeting. But right now, what do you think? Was it a good hire or not? Go ahead and put yes or no. Answer the question. Let me know. Um, Now, that's one thing that the Dolphins were looking for. Oh, we have Aquavision in here. What's up, Aquavision Lance? What's up? Good morning. It was very important for the Dolphins to do that. Somebody that would be able to have that player development. That was very keen. Somebody that would very player friendly kind of coach. I told you guys that's what they were looking for, and you know what? Obviously, I was leaning towards Frazier, Leslie Frazier from the Bills. He ended up going elsewhere, I believe, to the Chargers, if I'm mistaken. Not gonna lie, a little bit. Now, as far as for the Dolphins, this kind of makes sense. I could see why they would bring somebody like Weaver um, over here, and I'm gonna give you a couple pointers of what what we've seen from him, I guess, in the league, and then we kind of are able to go ahead and and move forward. And one of the cool things is, which this is the comparison that I was talking about earlier, is he seems like the defensive version of Mike McDaniel, uh, but not as quirky or what do you call it? He's not as super hoorah, but I still think he is very player. Um, I always keep using player centered, but there's no other way I can think of. Uh, you know, player focused, player involved, if you will. Um, and it seems like that's the direction that they want to take the team. It is a new NFL, ladies and gentlemen. Some of us, I mean, now granted, I know I'm like young, but I remember old school football. We don't have that anymore. I mean, I remember that old school because I didn't really watch it, but like Jason Taylor era, Zach Thomas, Jason Taylor era. That's what I grew up watching when it came to football, right? That era. And some of you guys were lucky enough to watch the '85 Bears defense and all that good stuff, which Leslie Frazier was part of. Um, I wasn't even born. I don't think my parents were even married by then. Were they married? No, they weren't. Were they even together? Anyways, but regardless, old school football, you know what I mean? That tough football that we all know and love. It's no longer that league, guys. Right now, what sells is offense. They have changed this league so much so. That's why all these people who are, oh my God, this record is broken, that record is broken. I'm like, great. In this paper type league, sure, of course you're gonna break the most passing yards, the most touchdown, the most this, the most that, when you can't even look a guy without getting a 15-yard penalty. So, yeah, of course. That good gauntlet kind of like, holy smokes, that was, the ripping off heads and breaking limbs and blood everywhere, gladiator stuff. That's not it anymore. Now it's you gotta protect everybody. You gotta make sure they're good, they last. You know what I mean? And now add all this, and not that gambling wasn't already part of it, but now added, it's like inflamed. You know, with fantasy football, fantasy football to me is what started it all. Um, because it went from like the team collective all the way down to like single players, and I think that's where it started it all. What's up, Shekel? I see you. Good morning, Heat and Dolphins. Welcome, Manolo. Welcome. Good morning, Jeremiah. What's up? Welcome, welcome. Thank you guys for coming through. Um, but yeah, so because this is a new league, players voice themselves, and this is way worse in the NBA. At least it's not as bad as it is in the NBA. God, I can't even. That's why I watched my first quarter of basketball this weekend, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to wait till the playoffs because I just can't. Anyways, as far as the Dolphins are concerned, they're catering to this new era of football players who are a lot more involved. They want to be a lot more involved. They want to put their what do you call it? They want to put their um input. These players are smart regardless. No matter whatever era they played, they're smart. They know what they see, and they feel like they have a good general idea of where they can utilize their skills more. But that's why you have a coach to be able to look at bigger picture, not just individual players. Um, so that's where we're at right now, and I feel like they got the guy that they wanted as far as that young, developing, and player focused DC. You know, and that's what it looks like they got with this guy. I mean, the good thing is he's been associate head coach for the last 2 years for the Ravens, as well as their D line coach. So he's got experience too managing as well, which is a good thing. And I'm gonna go over his resume and all that good stuff, but uh, there's somebody that could still also help out McDaniel too, and they're both young. I mean, he's what 43 now. You know, McDaniel's I believe 38, if I'm not mistaken. So pretty young coaches when it comes to football coaching. So hey, look, at the end of the day, everybody knows that this is at minimum a 1 year job. Because if this goes wrong, holy smokes, everything's gonna be blown up in my opinion. Everybody is everybody's gonna it's gonna be gone. You know what I mean? Um so because of that, eh, I'm not so I'm not so what do you call it? I'm not surprised. You know what I mean? That they came out. Look, I'm not gonna lie to you. As long as it wasn't Stanley or Staley, I'm perfectly fine. I really did not want Brendan Staley. That was like the one guy that I was like, oh God, no. I don't know why people were pushing him so hard. I'm like, please, no. Like, no. But anyways, now I'm giving you my overall overview, guys. 10 more likes, guys. Can we get 10 more likes? Can we get to 30 likes? Let's go, guys. Appreciate you guys. But yeah, so he is the new DC. Now let's go over kind of like his resume and what he's been doing. One cool thing that a lot of people may not have known, ladies and gentlemen, he actually was a player. He played 7 years as a player in the NFL, ladies and gentlemen. Yup, 7 years he was a defensive end. He played for several teams, actually. Well, two teams. But still, I mean, that's not bad. Funny enough, he actually was drafted in the second round by the Ravens. He played there for what was it, 5 years, and then went on to the Houston Texans. So as a player, he got experience. You know what I mean? That's one thing that I thought it was actually pretty cool. You're seeing a lot in the league now where former players are becoming coaches. And to me, that's pretty good because, you know, they're able to relate a little bit more with the current players because it's like, you can't be asking me, dude. I've been in that locker room. I've done, that kind of work. I know what goes on. You know what I mean? And especially, I mean, you can't really, what do you call it? You can't really try to hold one over them, because they've already done it. So that's the cool thing. um, with it. So yeah. So that, hey, I mean, that's not bad at all. Yeah, 4 seasons with the Ravens, and then he signed with the Texans, man, and he spent 3 years there. So that's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, and he even played in a playoff game as well. So look at that. Not too shabby, I'll tell you that. That's for sure. And that was him as a player. Then you got him as a coach. He went to the University of Florida in 2010. He was a graduate assistant. Then he went back to Texas because he is from Texas. Abilene. I always want to say that place way different. But Abilene, Texas. He's a Texan. Yeehaw. Excuse me. And he went to North Texas, was a linebackers coach in 2011. Then he went to the Jets. He became a assistant D line coach with the Jets. What else? 13. He became a D line coach with the Bills. In 2014, he was there 2014 and 2015. For the Cleveland Browns, he was also the D line coach, which is as well when he used to play, well, not play, but coach with Mike McDaniel. So these two coaches already have rapport. They have already worked together in Cleveland in 2014. So they know each other. They're reunited, and it feels so good. Uh, so now, being that they go from Cleveland, obviously Matt McDaniel has his coaching resume where it continues from 2014 on. Weaver in 2014, 2015, he was in Cleveland as a D line coach. So they have rapport. They know each other. Now they're back together. Um, with now, once that happened, then he was able to go to the Texans. From 2016 to 2019, he was a D line coach for the Texans. In 2020, he became the defensive coordinator and the D line coach as well. So he has DC experience already with the Texans. While he was with the Texans, one of the cool things is that he was able to develop a lot of players while he was with the Texans. Now, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but he did actually end up developing six players that ended up being Pro Bowlers. One of the key players being J.J. Watt. So he was there with the Texans and helped develop J.J. Watt and Jadavian Clowney. Some people will say, well, those guys are just talented, I'm like, you got all the talent in the world, you still need coaching at the end of the day. So he definitely assisted and was able to develop. Those are the two biggest names. Obviously, he had other players as well. Sorry. Ooh, ooh, sorry. He had other players as well that became Pro Bowlers like Mario Williams, Kyle Williams, Marcel Darius, and Justin Madubuike. Madubuike. Yeah. Ooh, you know when you feel like you're about to sneeze and it doesn't happen? Exactly what's happening to me right now. Not cool. But so he's gotten experience in developing players, even so making them Pro Bowls. Now I get it, guys. Pro Bowls, that's just a popularity context. True, for the most part, true. But if you're not at least semi good at your job, you're not gonna have that popularity. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, it's good for him. He was able to go ahead and get those players good. Now, one thing that I would say a lot of people should look into is that having those young players and developing those players, guess what? We have young players that we haven't really developed, like a Cam Smith, being one of the main ones, so on and so forth. So expecting those kind of players that maybe perhaps didn't get a chance to develop, with him being able to develop young players, that should be really good for us as far as our defense. Now, we already know, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a defense that looks very, very different because there are a lot of players that we just simply cannot sign. We have too many players that are going to be that are pretty much free agents. And because we cannot sign everybody, we're gonna have to start making some decisions. And that's gonna affect with the way that this defense overall looks. Now, it doesn't mean we won't be an effective defense, but it does mean that this defense is gonna have to figure out how to still be productive with the players we do have left. You see what I mean? Oh, here it is. Exactly. Because guess what? Sealer finally we gave him a an extension, so he's gonna be here with the team. But you still have your free agents like Ginkle. You still got your free agents like Brandon Jones, Deshaun Elliott, Nick Needham, obviously Wilkins. We don't even know. We kind of the writing is on the wall in my opinion with Wilkins, but hey, we'll see. You got Bakers, you're gonna cut, not get cut. You got Ogbas, you're gonna get cut, not get cut. David Long Jr. in a contract year as well. You got obviously Chubb, who's in this giant contract we won't see till the middle of next year. Phillips, we pick up the 5th year option, which I think we should. He won't be available to the middle of next year as well. He's also technically in a contract year. You got Holland also in his 3rd year. Now Holland's a little bit different because Holland, we picked him up in the 2nd round. So Holland, this is it. This is his last year under contract in his rookie year. So you're gonna have to give him an extension. How does that look like? So a lot of things that we're gonna have to look into when it comes to this defense. It's not gonna look the same. Period. No matter how you slice it. Um, but that's something that he's gonna have to do and deal with. But the fact that he's got proven players he was able to go ahead and develop, that's good. And then my Dubuque, super talented, very inconsistent. When you're that talented and you're raw, you're gonna need somebody to kind of sharpen your edges, and sometimes even soften your edges. Kind of focus your your experience overall and focus the way that you utilize those talents. So being able to work with the D line, being able to work with young players, this should be very exciting. Yeah, New Finland, what's up, New Finland? Welcome, Dolphins Thirsty, welcome. How you doing? Um, as far as Patrick Queen, I know he's a free agent over there for the Ravens. That would be very interesting. I know a lot of people they've been saying, you know, hey, maybe he can bring him over to the Dolphins. I wouldn't be opposed to that. Um, Other Obviously, you guys know who I wanted. I didn't really want Chubb. I wanted Roquan Smith. You absolutely overpaid with Chubb, but you know what? It is what it is. We're stuck with him. So we're gonna have to deal with it no matter what. What's up, baby AB? Um, let's see here. Second. Ah, everybody on Twitter and Twitch, thank you so much for coming through. I really do appreciate you guys for coming through. Also, guys, remember, let's keep it clean, be kind to each other, debate. But just keep in mind, just keep it clean. Appreciate you guys as well. Also, too, guys, remember to become members. How was I remember that? Remember to become members. Guys, yes, you can become a member. So I appreciate all of you guys for coming through. Much appreciated. We are in the end of the season mode, but not obviously. This is the last week of the NFL season because it's, guess what? Super Bowl week. Funny enough, this is the exact week that we started Miss Phins 2 years ago. So this what day is it? This Thursday it's our second year anniversary, ladies and gentlemen. So we're gonna throw a party here. Yep. Yes, we are. So come through on well, come through every day because we'll be live. But definitely come through this Thursday specifically because we're gonna throw a party. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, for our second anniversary of Miss Fans. My God, I can't even believe it's already been 2 years. The most you can't get more last minute than literally Super Bowl week. So that's how we did it. And we built this puppy from the ground up. And we continue to build it because you guys keep making it happen. So thank you, guys. Thank you. Guys, we need 15 more likes to get to 40. Can we get 40 likes? Can we get 40 likes? Go ahead and hit that like button for us, guys, real quick. Um, but yeah, so that's one thing that you can definitely go ahead and really take a look into it when it comes to Anthony Weaver. You know, he's good at developing players, which is what you want, especially because the Dolphins feel like they have younger core, that's proven, like your Phillips, like your Hollins. Um, but you also want the younger players who haven't been developed to get that opportunity to develop, be utilized, so on and so forth. So yeah, so that's what you can expect with Anthony Weaver. Now, one thing as I was reading, it's very interesting, and shout out to SI and their Dolphins page, if you will, and Dante Colinelli. Um, he had an awesome article on Weaver that he just posted yesterday. So I don't want to read it all because I want you guys to go over there and click it, but definitely go check out the SI Dolphins article that he wrote because to me it was pretty great, and I wanted to go ahead and just kind of gloss over a couple parts of it. Um, Specifically what we could expect as far as scheme wise when it comes to Anthony Weaver. Interesting because you kind of had opposing schemes between what he had while he was with the Texans versus what the Ravens had. The last couple of years has been kind of different. But I still thought it was actually very interesting, and from what um what's his name again? Dante. Ooh, Dante's Inferno. Sorry, it's my brain. He says Houston primarily ran a 4-3 defense, lining up that way 22% of the time, which is good for the fifth highest rate in the league, according to Sports Info Solutions. Um, On the back end, Weaver's Texans used single high shell 62% of the time, good for seventh in the league. While that usually indicates heavy man coverage usage, the Texans only used man coverage for 34% of the total snaps. So it's a 4-3. Now, skipping over this past year for the Ravens, was a little bit different. The Ravens ran a 3-3-5 alignment, and from what Dante was saying here, the 2023 Ravens could not be more different. Baltimore ran 48% of their snaps from a 3-3-5 alignment, the second most in the league. The Ravens rarely played with a stacked box last season, ranking fifth in light box usage rate. Um, Additionally, Baltimore deployed their third most two high shells in the league and only blitzed 18% of the time compared to Texans 32% of the time. So if you think about it, it's kind of how I know we were super blitz heavy under Flores. And I mean super. I mean, I don't think anybody ran cover zero more than Flores did while he was our head coach here for the Dolphins. I mean, we were running it, if I'm not mistaken. Holy smokes! And I gotta see, was running cover zero like we were. It was crazy. Even we would start out in cover zero and then either drop two back or drop three back and only rush four. Um, but yeah, nobody did that more than the time that we did it while we were under Flores. Opposite of that, under Mike McDaniel, especially with Fangio last year, you heard him in the offseason. He said, I'm going to blitz whenever I want to blitz. So we were really not blitzing. We barely blitz last year as a Dolphins defense. Like, barely. We were doing a lot of zone coverage. Which is funny. I'm remembering some things. You know my brain how it works. If it reminds me something funny, I'm going there. But even with Fangio, we ran a lot of zone, which was very annoying at times. Too high safety zone. It worked, but not for every team. We got gashed whenever we had a running quarterback that we were going up against. And which teams ended up having those running quarterbacks? Eagles, Kansas City, Ravens, ooh, Bills. They were also the ones who had the most wins, and we tend to not do so well against those. Being for the fact that we went 1-5, but it is what it is. At the end of the day, it is what it is. Now, it looks like Texans, with the way that he ran that 4-3, was very, very blitz heavy, kind of like how Flores was. Now, with the Ravens, the way they ran their defense, it's a little bit different. And by a little bit, I mean a lot different. Because having that two shell in the league, blitzing only 18% of the time, that's not that much. Um, we were we were blitzing like 65% of the time under Flores. It was insane. I mean, literally, it was crazy. Um, but yeah, let's see here. Back to Dante. He said, "What does this mean for Weaver's defense in Miami? Ideally, Weaver should lean more on what he learned with the Ravens this season. McDonald's, who was their DC, now he accepted the head coaching job over there for the Chargers. Um, yeah, and new Chargers coach Jim Harbaugh is bringing McDonald's top disciplined Jesse Minter to Los Angeles for next season. That defense will will start sweeping across the league if it performs well again in 2024. So we'll have to see. Uh, Next in the article, Dante says, however, Weaver's experience with the Ravens and Texas means there isn't a defensive philosophy he isn't comfortable with. Weaver should incorporate some of what he did in Houston, with the Ravens' core concepts. Miami has its own batch of great players like Ramsey, Holland, but they're different from the Ravens duo, meaning Miami's scheme should be a little bit different too. Obviously, and they had Kyle Hamilton and Roquan Smith over there with the Ravens, which allowed them to use light boxes without getting gashed in the run game. For us, we're a little bit different, and that should be adjusted by him. The cool thing is, at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, that it looks like Weaver has experience in different schemes where he'll be able to mesh those two together and kind of come up with a plan, and hopefully that we'll be able to incorporate and maximize the players we do have in house. Obviously, we don't have a Roquan Smith because, in my opinion, I'm sorry, but Bradley Chubb is not like, yeah. But again, having the experience in different types of schemes will be an upper hand, in my opinion, for Weaver, and he'll be able to go ahead and again maximize the players we do have. We'll see if he's going to be very aggressive with the blitzing. I know we didn't do it last year, but we've done it before with Flores. We'll see. We only blitzed 20% of the time last year with Fangio, so should be very interested in how we end up, and our scheme ends up overall being. Now, I know you're going to hear a lot of people saying a lot of players are scheme specific, depending on how strong they are. And depending on their strength as a defensive player, you'll be able to either run that 3-4 or that 4-3, and how effective you can be with them. Some players are going to get highlighted with this defense, other players are not. There's a reason why when we were running the cover zero with Flores, Emmanuel Ogbah went off because he was much better in that scheme than he was perhaps in this one that we ran with Fangio. Now, as far as the rest of it's concerned, to me, I'm excited to see how this defense ends up going. You guys already know I'm a defensive girl. This is my this is my baby. I absolutely love it. I can't wait to see. I think it is a young coach who has a young mindset, who has both played, so he knows the trenches, and has been able to go ahead and coach as well in different schemes. So this is going to be something that we should be pretty interested. Now, I know some people are going to say, "Well, you got the run to the litter." Look, we did at the end of the day. We got McDaniel that nobody was looking at. Got him. Offensive I will never use that word with him because I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't crown people like other people do. But very, very good, very creative offensive coach. Now you have a DC who has seen multiple schemes, has seen success in them, even though some people would say in Texas it wasn't that good. But I mean, things do happen. Being under Bill O'Brien, it was a little bit different over there. That team was dealing with a lot of injuries while he was part of their defensive coaching um, side of the ball. So you have to take those things into consideration as well. But overall, I mean, when you have key players that you've been able to play and to develop, like a Watt, like a Clowney, you've got experience in seeing, those gems and being able to help them develop and maximize their potential as well. Hopefully we can get that with some of the guys that we literally didn't even see this season. Like it's crazy. Um so we'll see at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen. Having having the experience of having multiple schemes, like I said, should be very interesting. Let's see how he ends up putting that together. And let's see what players we end up bringing in. There are going to be some players that we're going to have to let go because we can't sign everybody It's gonna be a bummer. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not even gonna pretend like it's not. But that is what is going to end up happening. There are going to be some guys that are going to be coming in that are new. If we end up getting Patrick Queen for some reason, oh my God, please, then I would be very happy. If he doesn't, then it is what it is. At the end of the day, um, it's nothing. There's nothing else that I can say as far as Weaver. Obviously everything's a wait and see, ladies and gentlemen. But I think it's pretty good. Actually, I like it. I like it. I've been seeing some things. I've been reading up on him. I think it's pretty good. I definitely do think that we're gonna end up blitzing more than what we did last year, which to me actually works in our favor. Our guys know how to do that. So a lot of players outperform their way out. Yeah, Timothy, it's true. I know the feeling. Um, but that's not a bad thing. You know what I mean? That's not a bad thing at all. He's been a successful defensive coordinator. He's been a successful assistant head coach. And to me, having that experience with him, it's going to really help out Daniel regardless. And to me, honestly, I'm excited to see what it ends up coming in. We're gonna learn more about him, and you're gonna see a lot of more things coming out, and we'll break down everything he's done even more as far as his scheme overall, which players fit where, and how that could be, how that could be maximized. But at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, I think that this is actually a pretty good hire. In my opinion, it's a pretty good hire. I mean, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? The 2023 Baltimore Ravens were just in the AFC Championship. You know what I mean? Like, they were pretty good. They were ranked number one in points against. They allowed the least amount of points, that defense, in the entire league. So it's not like he's coming from like some rinky dink Chargers team or defense that literally didn't even perform that well, even though they had some really good players. You're talking about like this team clamped down. You know what I mean? And yeah, when you're that good and you're allowing such little point. I mean, 16 and a half points per game. That's all they allowed. That's really good. Really good. So good. It got you into the AFC Championship, ladies and gentlemen. You won the AFC Conference. You won the divisional round versus the Texans, only holding them to 10 points. And obviously, you know what? I got to say it. The offense didn't show up for that defense in the championship round. It didn't. That to me, that loss is it's 80% on that offense. Because they only allowed 17 points. They literally allowed what they've allowed the entire. So that defense performed exactly how they have been performing every single game this season. But that offense, where was the 28.4 points a game? Where was the offense when the offense needed it? It's like repeating myself from the Dolphins. The same thing. Same thing like the Dolphins. You can draw a lot of similarities between the Ravens and the Dolphins. The offense wasn't there. It wasn't. It wasn't there when they needed it most. The high-powered offense. They were fourth out of 32. The Ravens. They were ranked fourth in offense with 28.4 points per game. Non-existent in this round. Non-existent. 10 points, please. Three more than the Dolphins versus the same thing. Oh, I don't even want to talk about it. Anyways, but that offense didn't cut it. They didn't cut it. And they didn't do it. And that defense was so good. So good. And there's nothing more frustrating than when you see half of the team do what they're supposed to do and the other half just absolutely doesn't. To me, that's just frustrating. But there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's my input on our new hired DC. Finally, we got him. We'll be able to talk draft. We'll be able to talk, players we're looking into it. I suspect we're probably, because we're going to be missing so many players in the defense, we might pick up one or two defensive players in the draft. Um, but yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be very, 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 very interesting season. Obviously, a lot of things are up in the air. We'll have to see exactly how it all shapes up overall, obviously. Guys, hit that like button, guys. Can we get 10 more likes? Can we get 10 more likes? As far as the Pro Bowl is concerned, um, what can I say? It was pretty cool. See, I mean, honestly, I wasn't even going to watch it, but I'm like, why not? I'll see here and there. I ended up watching it. It was on Thursday and then Sunday again. That wasn't too bad, to be honest with you. It was very entertaining. Yeah, it was entertaining. I was a little disappointed, in a couple things, but it is what it is at the end of the day. Um, the AFC lost again. That was kind of frustrating because I feel like they lost last minute, and they weren't able to put up points, and unfortunately, that cost us the whole games. I will say this: I am glad that it is flag football because we already have been saying it for years. I'm like, this is practically flag football. Why are they even? They're not even wearing pads. Like, why are they now? Back in the day, Pro Bowl. Oh, those players play. I'm talking, whoosh, like they destroyed each other. And then they realized, wait a minute, this is a Pro Bowl. We can't have a guy out for the whole season because of the Pro Bowl. So they calmed things down, obviously. But I still thought it was actually very. It was, you know what? It was very entertaining. The the flag football game was very entertaining. It was cool seeing our guys out there. You know what I mean? Obviously, how many times have we seen that Tua to Tyreek pass? Like that's. Yeah, I know. That Taylor hit was insane. They were playing it all weekend long. It was funny. But yeah, absolutely. So as far as the Pro Bowl games, yeah, I thought it was fun. I liked the jabbing between the Eli Mannings. That was pretty cool. Seeing Ray Lewis, my God, that man, he was not having it. He's like, "What do you mean that's a penalty? Are you kidding me? You're supposed like it was cool. It was cool. I'm not gonna lie. It was cool. Obviously, the AFC absolutely sucks in skills challenges. Like completely got destroyed. In my opinion, and then I'm not gonna lie to you, ladies and gentlemen. Why on earth was Tehran even there? Holy crap! Like Tehran Armstead was the weakest link in everything he did. And I mean everything he did. The whole wall thingy, he couldn't even take off all of his weights by himself. And then when they were pulling, he was the one like literally not pulling the most out of all the players. And I'm like, dude, you played 3 games this season. You can't move a wall? Like, come on, man. I was not gonna lie. And then the whole pushing, the sled pushing, I'm like, oh my god, this dude, I can't. I know he's old, but he's still a player. Like, oh, that pissed me off so much. I'm not gonna lie, that pissed me off so much. I'm like, come on, AFC. I was like, God, we're so close. Because obviously, I'm gonna pull my team's in the AFC, so I'm gonna pull for the AFC. Man, I was so mad, yo. Oh, I was flipping team. I couldn't, but it was actually kind of cool seeing the guys out there, all the different teams and stuff. That was pretty cool, especially when the pick six by the Cleveland Brown guy. What else? Obviously the first Tyreek dagger. Like, come on, man. That's a staple Miami Dolphins. You know what I mean? Uh, so that was kind of fun. Not gonna lie, that was kind of fun. But yeah, it is. It is gonna be at the end of the day. It's just games. Now I was actually very surprised. That place was packed. I mean, packed. That whole stadium. I don't even know where they played. I know. I think it was the Worldwide Sports ESPN has in Orlando. I think that's where they did it. It was huge. Like they had. It was completely packed. I was like, "Jeez, that was actually pretty cool." So yeah, I thought it was pretty interesting. Very happy. I mean, it sucked. My God, yo, let me tell you something. That boy is special, and by boy I mean that young man. Uh, Texans. Ah, Stroud, C.J. Stroud. My lord, what a special young man. I mean, super exciting. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie, I was very disappointed in Tua, yo. I was trying to hold off. I wasn't even gonna say nothing. I'll talk about it a little bit more tomorrow, but I was very disappointed, man. I expected him to win that precision challenge. I'm like, how do you know what this is your baby? The most accurate quarterback? Come on. Like, oh God. It pissed me off too. Like literally, and I missed it because I missed the first 30 minutes. I have to wait and go back on YouTube. I'm like, when are they gonna upload the thingy? And then I'm like, I saw the results. I'm like, okay, he didn't win, but how did he do? Like, he got the least amount. No, Miss Fins. He didn't throw as many balls as the other guy. Why not? You literally released the ball the most. The fastest out of anybody else. What you mean you don't got. And then you're going to let someone else distract you? Oh, no, that's not what you're supposed. Ah, I was just so mad. No, like he had one of the most beautiful balls out there than any of the other quarterbacks. When he did that crossover, well, it's not a crossover, he's lefty, but when he did that to hit to the number four, man, that was beautiful. When he threw that ball to the number four, I was like, I can watch a million of those balls. Seriously, they're gorgeous. But what the heck, man? You were supposed to win that. I was pulling for you. You're my quarterback. I need you to look good. God, it pissed me off. But whatever, it is what it is. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Um, I will say this: that whole catching the one that's like I forgot what it's called, the punt catch or whatever. Yo, the guy from what team was it? Steelers. The Steelers dude. I don't know how he did it. He had 7 balls on him, like all these balls, and he still managed to catch it. I was like, yo, that was a cool one. I'm not gonna lie, I really like that one. I really liked that game. That was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun. What's up, Franklin? Welcome. What's up, Lance? His fan said because he didn't have practice with the machine moving. What do you mean? I don't get it. Um, but yeah. Anyways, but I thought it was pretty. I thought that was a pretty cool game. Like seeing him trying to catch. Yo, is it me or is Sam Laporta like a giant? Like Sam Laporta had 3 balls in his arm and another one in his hand, like it was nothing. And I'm like, yo, this guy looks huge. Like Sam Laporta looks huge. How tall is he? Now I feel like I need to look it up. I'm gonna look it up because yo, Sam Laporta, huge. Oh, how tall is he? Oh, he's 6'4". That's it. Guess his college, Iowa. Of course. Of course. 6'4", 245. Oh my God. As a tight end, my lord. Crazy. Yep. Iowa. Them big boys. Holy smokes. But yeah, that that was actually pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. Pretty cool. So I thought it was very interesting. Yeah, definitely the Pro Bowls looked like it was a lot of fun. Congrats, guys, on not making the Super Bowl. I want to make the Super Bowl, man. I want to make the Super Bowl. Sorry, this is, this is frustrating. Anyways, guys, hit that like button. We need three more likes to get to 30. Can we get three more likes? Is that possible? Is that possible? We got 40 of y'all in here. Let's go ahead and get the 50 likes. Let's go, guys. Appreciate everybody on Twitter and Twitch. Oh man, I finished well, I'm looking at his height thingy and it says 6'4". So okay, was the Anthony Weaver? I don't know how I phrased this. Sorry, guys, with my question. I don't know what I was thinking. Anthony Weaver was a good hire for the Dolphins. 84% of you guys said yes. 15% said no. Okay. Cool. Ultimately, we won't know specifically how it's gonna end up being. You know what I mean? But we'll see. At the end of the day, it's gonna be a lot of fun. You know. I mean, personally, we just have to get back on the horse and ride it out. You know what I mean? If there was a wait and see option, it may have been up there in voting. Absolutely. It would have been like 97%, you know. But I figure, or no. We'll see. Now, let's see here. What's everything else? Nope, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. There you have it. I want to go ahead and go over Weaver. Obviously, we got Coach Weaver. Nobody got the question. There's a movie who has a Coach Weaver of the Cleveland Browns who who has a very famous actor playing him. Anybody know what movie I'm referring to? Anybody knows? Oh, oh. A hint, hint. Bo is in the movie. Thank you, Mark. Thank you. Yes, draft day. Bo Callahan, Coach Weaver, GM Weaver now. You know, yes. Kevin Costner. I love that movie. I'm pretty sure. I'm like, I feel like I gave it all away. You know, you got Kevin Costner, not Adrian Peterson, Adrian. Oh my God, he was with the Texans. Um, oh my Lord, you had the guy from White Chicks. I can't even think of him. Anyways, great movie. Chad Boswick was also there too. Awesome movie. I know a lot of people think it was super cheesy, but I'm like, I loved it. I bought it. It's a great movie. Adrian Foster, thank you. I was like, what is this kid's name? Adrian Foster. Phenomenal guy. But yep, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate you guys so much for coming through. Also, too, if you can do me a favor, let's support those who do support the channel, like Chef Jew and Chef Jew's Catering. Looking for a great chef to cater your next office party, business, birthday with cookies, cakes, pies, and more. Then let's go ahead and support those who support Phins and call Chef Jew at 786-804-8096, 786-804-8096, or via Facebook Messenger or Instagram at Chef Jew JU Catering for more information, and mention Miss Phins to get 10% off your catering order. I appreciate all you guys coming through, guys. Again, this is Miss Phins. I am Miss Phins. Thank you. We will be back tomorrow having fun. Thank you to all the members. Take care and bye bye. Wait. Bye bye.